The material presented today is copyrighted and all rights remain the property of the speaker and EJC Advantage. Good morning, everyone. Hello, and welcome to our monthly oils gathering and product training. Today is Saturday, June the 6th, 2015. I'm your host, Jackie Close, and with me today is our very special guest speaker, Dana Christisen, YL Gold. Dana, welcome.
Hi, Jackie. Hi, everybody. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Okay, you're going to have to stay real close to your microphone or the phone, whatever you're using there, Dana, because you kind of were very distant in the beginning there. But we are
Okay, I
very
was
happy to
walking
have you
around.
here. Do say
Thank
that
you.
again?
I was walking around, so I'll get seated here.
Okay. Okay, today Dana's going to be talking about creating your vision for your better tomorrow. And I'm really excited about this because Dana went from executive to gold using this very set of techniques that she's going to be teaching us today. So if you're looking to grow your business and grow your life, even if it isn't in your Young Living business, if it is just in some area of your life, you can use these techniques and be able to create your vision for what you want to be happening. And I'm really thankful to have her doing this. So thank you so much for being here and making this available for people, Dana.
Well, thanks for having me. I really I like to share what I've learned because it's helped me so immensely. Before I learned about the Chi to Be energy surges, my life was pretty scattered. And I don't know about everyone else, but when you get into Young Living, there's this whole new world that opens up with all these different things you can learn and do. And for me, I want to know everything, and I want to learn everything, and I want to be an expert at all of it. So I was very scattered out because I thought, raindrop, yeah, let's learn that, you know. And so everything that would come down the line, I'd be like, yeah, that's a really good idea. I need to learn that too. Maybe I need to go to massage school. I even entertained going back to school to be a chiropractor. So, I mean, because it all has value, and I see that. But so what happened is that I was an executive. I started business building in 2009 pretty seriously, and I became pregnant and kind of lost my focus for a while. And then in 2011, I went to Detroit, my husband and I, to hear Gary Young. And my friend, I met Stacy Hall there at the Detroit meeting, and she was promoting her new book, Chi to Be. And I said, what's this book about? And she said, well, it's about helping you achieve your goals and increase your energy. And I said, well, I could use that. And she said, what goal do you have? And I said, well, I'd like to be silver, but I don't feel like that's ever going to happen because I've been executive for a really long time. And she said, this book can help you. And so I bought the audio version and plugged it in on my way home. And it was really interesting, but what really kicked it into gear was when I got private coaching. I won a contest on Facebook that she had put out to attract some people into her coaching program, that her goal for them was to become coaches. I didn't know that. But I won an hour coaching a week for a year, and it was worth over $10,000, plus a complete set of materials. Now, yeah, I've never had coaching before, and I would have never paid for it because I didn't know it could be so valuable. Within 6 months, I had become her first certified coach, and then she and I went on to even create the Chi generating oil anointing technique after that. So it's been quite a journey. But within 6 months of getting the private coaching, I did become silver. So that was pretty amazing to me, and it just proved that what I was using was working. Plus, a lot of the relationships that I had with the different people in my life were better because of it. So we'll get into what Chi to Be is about. It's the energy surges, and I think you can see that on your screen. There was also a handout on the Facebook group that you could print off. But basically, there's 11 energy surges. And these things in conjunction, if you use all of them, they can help you to be more focused and more organized and have harmony in your life. And the most important one on this page is at number 4. And actually, the whole thing, for the way I teach it, is that number 4 is the very most important thing on here. And everything else on this list is to support energy surge number 4, which is focusing for energy generation and the strategic attraction planning process. So as far as, I'll go briefly over each of the energy surges, and then we'll get into the strategic attraction planning process overview. And so number 1, we'll just go in order. So scheduling for success. Schedule intentional activities on your calendar. Determine that all of the activities are supported to your goals. When an activity is supportive to our goals, it gives us energy when we do that activity. So when you schedule a meeting, ensure that it is supportive for both people involved. A lot of people say yes to things that they really don't want to do because they don't know how to say no, or they just do them because they've always done it. And does anybody on this call today, have you ever said yes to something that you really didn't want to do? And it really didn't serve you to do that, but you did it anyway because somebody was expecting something from you and you just didn't want to let them down? I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that did that. Well, in Chi to Be, what we do, and you may have noticed it says From Chi to Be, Achieving Your Ultimate Be-All by Stacey Hall. The be-all part is your be-all, end-all goal. It's what do you want to achieve before you die? What's the very most important thing that you want to have accomplished when you're at the end of your life? And so we use that as our focus for everything that we do throughout our day. That's how we focus energy. Well, when we're looking at scheduling for success, the way I do it is if I'm invited to participate in a certain event or to do an activity for someone, I have to ask myself, does this support my be-all? Does it bring me closer to my be-all, or does it take me farther away from my be-all? Because it's going to do one or the other. And I can still do it if it's taking me further away, if it's something that I really want to do. You know, maybe it's something that supports my family and friends and it makes me feel better. Great, go ahead and do it. But for the most part, I schedule activities based on if they're going to get me closer to my be-all. And for the rest, I have this really neat thing that I learned, and it's how to say no very easily. Stacey taught us this to somebody. Somebody had shared it with her one time because Stacey ran herself so thin by doing so many things. If somebody asks you to do something and it's something that you do not want to participate in, the correct answer to them is, thank you for asking. That does not work for me. No more, no less. Just say, thank you for asking. That does not work for me. When you say that, you've acknowledged to them that you understand the request they've made and that you are responding that it doesn't work. And you did not give them an excuse. Excuses lower our energy for both people. Because if I said, well, that doesn't work for me because I have, a dentist appointment, then they might say, well, could you change your dentist appointment? So there's still a conversation. If I haven't given them an excuse, there's nothing to override. So I thought that was really powerful, and that's really helped me a lot too. And another thing about scheduling for success is to use a calendar. I mean, really use a calendar. Get your daily routine down, and then that time where you find maybe you're surfing Facebook, maybe you've got 15 minutes and you're surfing Facebook. Is that going to get you closer to your Brielle? I don't know. It might. I don't know. But if you don't have an agenda for surfing Facebook and you just get onto YouTube and all of a sudden you find yourself going through video after video, that may not be a good investment of your time. So really, if you schedule out things for the day, you will find yourself applying yourself more to what's important to get handled that day. And I think that's just so powerful because, you know, your business, 15, 20 minutes a day could be the difference in making your business wildly successful or just treading water. All right, moving on to number 2. Do it your way any way you can. Zig Ziglar said, anything worth doing poorly, or worth doing, is worth doing poorly the first time. I think a lot of us tend to be perfectionists, and we want to do everything exactly right, and we want to know everything. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, I can't share about the oils because I don't know enough. It makes me a little crazy because our job is not to know about the oils. Our job is to know that there's a company out there called Young Living, and they have some really fantastic products, and this is how you get them. And by the way, this is the book that you would go to get, or the collection of books that you would go to get to learn all about them and how to use them for yourself. So we're actually in a position of coaching and teaching others, we're just teaching them about where to go and, you know, how to get there, and not how to fix things, because that gets into diagnosing, treating, and prescribing, and we don't do that. We're not licensed for that. Everyone needs to make their own decisions because everyone's situation is unique. And, you know, we also have this aspect of Young Living that's about financial abundance. And some people may be perfectly healthy and really don't need anything that we have. You know, there's a lot of people that handle their health on their own just fine. So do it your way any way you can. It's just you get out there and you start sharing, and don't worry about having it all right or having a script or any of that stuff. You just share from your heart and just get out there and do it. You won't know what you're doing poorly until you do it. And, you know, you're going to get a lot of opinions once you throw something out there about, oh, well, it would be better this way or it would be better that way. But if you don't ever get it out there, you won't ever get that feedback on how you can improve. My oilware pendant, some of you are familiar with, the little clay diffuser pendants that I made. I deliberately used Energy Surge number 2 to make them because I needed to go to the Young Living Convention in 2011. And I didn't have the money to pay for the trip to Florida. And I decided that I would go out and face and charge the ticket for the plane and the fee for the registration. And I asked God, I told God that I was going to trust that He would provide a way for me to pay for that. You know, I had no idea where this money was going to come from, but I just really felt confident that it would come back. Well, a week before I left, I had this idea about this diffuser pendant and how I could make one, because I've seen similar ones, but I wanted it to be really pretty. So I tried it out, and it worked. And I threw them together. I threw 100 or so of them together and took them to Florida. I sold all of them that I had taken to the convention itself, and had a few tucked in my suitcase that I forgot where they were at. But in the end, I made enough to pay back my trip, the whole complete trip. But what was really, had I worried about being perfect, because there was a lot of things I wanted to do differently, but I didn't have enough time to do it differently. So I put it out there and got a lot of feedback, and I was able to come back home and make them a little bit different the next batch. And I've been selling them ever since then. And the pendants I take to every Young Living event I go to, and they pay for my expenses for every convention I've ever gone to, and then some. It's actually one of the income streams that my family uses to live on. So do it your way, any way you can, is very, very powerful. And that can apply to anything you do in life. Number 3, tending to our goals, stages of growth. That is where we just look and say, okay, I have this goal of weighing 165 pounds. Am I in the seeding, sprouting, blooming, or resting stage? So when you plant a garden, you're either seeding that garden, you're sprouting your plants, or they're blooming, or like in the winter, our gardens are resting. So I look at my goal for being 165 pounds and decide that I'm in the seeding stage of that goal. And I don't let it lower my energy that I'm not at the blooming stage of that goal. I mean, I'm just grateful I'm not in the resting stage on that goal, because that would mean I'm going to stay where I'm at. But I'm currently working actively on getting to that goal of being 165 pounds. So that's just a way to look at your goals and say, and don't lose energy because something isn't where you want it to be, because you know what? Everything happens in God's time. So we might have this idea that something would be really good, and we plant the seed and it doesn't take off. That doesn't mean nothing's happening. You don't know what's going on under the earth. You don't know what's going on with that seed. God has a lot of stuff going on around us that we cannot, it's not in our field of vision, but it's still happening on our behalf. So number 4, focusing for energy generation. We're going to skip that because we're going to talk about the strategic attraction plan in detail. Number 5, harmoniously powerful agreements. These are from Don Miguel Ruiz. There's a book called The 4 Agreements, and they are: be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. And I highly recommend getting that book and reading it, and then rereading it maybe quarterly, because we forget. But being impeccable with your word just means telling the truth. And even your self-talk, is what you're saying true? Are you saying negative things about yourself? The word is so powerful. Conscious language that would fall under this too. So just noticing, am I being impeccable with that statement? Number 2, don't take anything personally. If somebody says something to me, they're saying it based on what they know and what they believe, and I don't have to take that personally. But I used to, and then that would lower my energy. So we don't do that anymore. Don't make assumptions. Sometimes we get this conversation going on in the back of our head about how somebody's reacting to something, and we make an assumption, and we're not really clear about what they had intended or what they're really doing about something. And it's so much more powerful to just ask, get clarity. If you think that somebody's thinking something that doesn't work for you, you need to just ask them, hey, is this what you meant by that? And when we repeat back to people what they said, a lot of times we get it wrong, because we really only pick up about 90%. We only retain about 10% of what people say, and 90% we'll forget. So that's why I'm glad this talk this morning's recorded. If you don't remember and you want to come back to it, you can. And always do your best. So just remember, maybe your best is better some days than others. Don't let it lower your energy. If something happened and it wasn't good and you feel like you're at fault, just go back and say, well, when that happened, was I doing my best? Yeah, with the tools I had that day, I did my best. But now my best is better. Okay, number 6 is the power of love. Practice appreciation of ourselves and others. That's just incredible. Just loving other people, going to bed, laying my head on my pillow. I think about all the ways that I appreciate myself for what I did that day. And I don't go through my to-do list of the things that I did not get done that day, because that will lower my energy as I drift off to sleep. I'll be in that lowered energy state. Instead, I just appreciate myself for what I did accomplish. Number 7, chi-generating rituals. We did a whole complete oil anointing technique based on number 7. They can be very simple. It can be, a ritual can be getting out of bed, walking to the kitchen, putting a drop of lemon oil in my water and drinking that before I do anything else. That's a ritual. And if I do it with intention, it will be more powerful than if I just do it mindlessly. But a ritual is anything that you do over and over again, and that gives us energy to have rituals. We have a ritual of, going to church. And so it's comforting to know that that event will happen and how it will happen and where we'll go, and we sit in the same place, so it's just comforting to have rituals. Number 8, keeping your chi moving, clearing clutter. This would have to do with like the feng shui and keeping clutter away out of your life helps energy to move. And that can even be like your paperwork for your business. I used to save everything. It was crazy, but now I realize that things change so fast, and I'm not going to use that old stuff. And if I get somebody new and I'm in my office, I'll just start pulling stuff out of my desk drawers, giving it to them, old reference materials and stuff. I'll say, you know what, this may or may not have something in it for you, but just take it. That way it's out of my life and somebody's using it for good, because I remember how happy I was to get reference materials when I first started. So just, maybe take a day and clean out your junk drawer in your kitchen. I mean, that gives me so much energy just to know that I know what's in there and what's not in there, and the stuff that I don't need is in the trash or at the recycle bin or at the thrift shop. And another part of clearing clutter is that emotional clutter, and you can use the affirmation from, whose book was that? About I clear and clean my body, heart, and soul. So, that's a different one. So there's one on here you can use. But there's also one in the Feeling Buried Alive, Never Die books that we use in the CARE program. All right. Number 9, recharging your energy. Energy, the importance of scheduling a rest stop. If you had a piano music and there was no rest in that music, it would just be one big, long noise. It would not be music. There has to be the pause, and there has to be the rest. And I really had to learn this, because my ideas were, if I have 8 hours a day and I can be busy the entire 8 hours, I'm successful. Boy, I did it. Well, no. You know what? Now in between, if I have raindrops scheduled, I'm going to give myself 15 to 30 minutes in between so I can use the restroom. I don't have to rush through changing the linen. If somebody wants to have a conversation with me after their treatment, I'm there. I didn't say treatment, did I? Apologize. Their session, if that was the appropriate word. So having a rest stop is really important. This summer, I'm actually taking every Friday as a rest stop. So every Friday this summer, my little 5-year-old and I are going to go do something fun. And if anybody wants to come along with us, they can. And if they don't, that's okay. We're still going. We're going to go to the zoo and go hiking and go to the creek and go to the water park. And so we already started this week. We actually changed the day because we had the threat of rain. So schedule that rest stop and schedule your fun. That's just as important as work, because it really helped me to get clear and be relaxed about doing other things once if I'd taken care of my own needs. And, in the end, that's what it's all about anyway. I don't want her to grow up and think, you know what, I don't remember doing anything fun with my mom. So, and number 10, the solution process. This is really valuable if you have a decision that you need to make and you're not sure about how to make it. So she gives us a list of 4 questions that we can ask that tell us, help guide us into what feels the best. And then number 11, personal accountability. This is probably should be the very first thing on the list, because accountability is what we choose to be counted on for. So it helps us to rely on ourselves, and it's not necessarily always good. It just means that I'm counting on myself to be this way or that way. And so from accountability is how we make all of our decisions. I used to could be counted on for eating an entire box of ice cream in a week, or hiding in the dark and eating ice cream, but I've chosen not to be accountable to that anymore. Now I'm choosing to be accountable to be a lifelong learner, and I'm choosing to be accountable to be dependable. If I say I'm going to do something, then I'm going to be there. I've even started choosing to be accountable to be on time and early for things instead of rushing to the last minute. And so today I wrapped a present for an event I'm going to tomorrow, because that would have never happened before. And I showed my daughter, I said, look, the gift's wrapped and this isn't till tomorrow. So she was really impressed. I'm sure some of you can relate. But let's move on to energy surge number 4, because it is by far my favorite and most powerful thing, the strategic attraction plan. And I created a document that's blank pages, and ideally you would take each month and print a set of these off and start over. So, but that's up to you. Sometimes I keep my old stuff and just add to it and make changes. But I found that it's really helpful to just start from scratch once in a while, because my list is so long I can't write it all out. But, I like to get some fresh material. So first of all, on the strategic attraction planning page, you're going to see my be-all. And this is where you would write what your be-all goal is, your be-all end-all goal. Now mine is that I am a Young Living Royal Crown Diamond level distributor, or member now. So that's my be-all. Now, I know that that's because I would like to influence hundreds of thousands of people in controlling their health. However, I don't have to put all that. And it's also, also when I'm a Royal Crown Diamond, I will be financially set. I will be able to travel, which is something that I love to do. And all my basic needs will be provided for, plus I'll have the money to be able to put into special interest groups, special things that come up that people are asking for donations for. If there's something that I would like to support, I'll be able to do that in a big way. So that's exciting for me. And just really empowering people. My dad died with leukemia in 1995, so he was diagnosed a year before that, and I spent that entire year feeling hopeless and helpless. And we didn't have the internet, so I searched through the college libraries and different places to try and find an answer to help my dad with his leukemia, because the doctors said they couldn't do anything, and I thought that was hogwash, because I knew that God put something on this earth that would help him, but I didn't find it. So for me, it's important for me to be able to give people hope. I have been successful when somebody looks at me and says, thank you for helping me. I now feel like I have some hope. And that happens frequently. And there's no greater feeling than for me to help them in that way. So that's your be-all. And your be-all can change, but I encourage you to get one as quickly as possible, since it is what you're going to use to base your entire schedule off of. The next thing that we have are my qualities. Now, these are things about yourself that are important. They're what you want to be accountable to. They're your values. So values are something that's really important, and we have a document we can share at the end. There's also, if you're using the You Infuse material from Monique McLean, there is a page in the Infuse binder with values. And those are things like faith, family, health, confidence, service, humility, humor, personal growth, open-minded, committed, compassionate. So those are some values, and everybody has values, and it's very important to know what yours are. A lot of companies nowadays will post their values. Now, with Young Living, we know what they value, right? It's wellness, purpose, and abundance. We know that. That's their values. And so it's important for you to know what makes you, what are you valuing in your life, because that's what makes you motivated to do a thing or not do a thing. So there's different places to find those out. John Maxwell has a card deck that you can get, and there's a value on each card and then a short description of that. And I've posted I think Jackie's put up some values there too on the screen, or will at the end, with some cards that you can make yourself. You can print them off and cut them out, and just hold each one and just see, is this something that really resonates with me, and kind of narrow it down. You want to narrow it down to about 5. But you can list all the qualities that you have, but you want to know what your values are too. So be sure that those are at the top. Now, you can also put here on my qualities, you can put things that you would like to be counted on for, but maybe you're not there yet. That's okay. This is your planning. Okay, I'm planning to be counted on to have a perfectly healthy body that's 165 pounds. Am I there yet? Nope, but I'm still going to write that down. I am weighing 165 pounds. That way, I don't feel like I'm lying, because it's where I'm going in the future. It's where I'm headed. I'm strategically planning on where I'm going by stating that about myself. Personal growth. I added this little section on my own. But what qualities am I in the process of improving to achieve my goals? So if I put something up here under my qualities that I haven't accomplished yet, I can write them down here, or I can just make a circle around them. And then, because I need to improve on that, what action am I taking to achieve improving that one quality that I circled? So right now, I'm walking 10,000 steps a day. That's pretty important. So that's one way that I'm working on that. All right, so the next page, I think it's goals and intentional activities. So each month you want to at least do this over. So for the month of June, now goals need to be SMART goals. They're specific. They have answers. They answer who, what, when, where. They are measurable, which would answer how much or how many. They're attainable. These are goals that you, with which you'll develop the attitudes, abilities, and skills to reach. If you want to be an opera singer and you've never sang a day in your life, and people ask you not to sing when they hear you, it's probably not going to happen. Let's say you're already 40 years old and you've never sang. Probably being an opera singer isn't something that is attainable. Maybe singing with the church choir is something that's attainable. So, make sure that it's something that you can actually achieve. And then realistic. Well, that would also be realistic. So realistic goals are those with which you're willing and able to work on. So if I wanted to be 110 pounds, that's probably not ever going to happen. And I really wouldn't care enough about that to actually do anything about it. So I would actually have less energy towards achieving a goal of being 110 pounds than I would of a goal of being 165 pounds, because it's not realistic. And then timely. Give yourself a date. My date, I used my Fitbit activity tracker to help me decide when I could weigh 165 pounds, and that was by November. If you're using it If your goal is for your next rank in Young Living, my goal is to be platinum by August 1st or July 31st of 2015. So another way that I'm going to increase, one way that I'm going to do that is to have a sub-goal of increasing essential reward participation to 50% of all my enrollees, and increase the number of enrolling people by 20%. So currently there's, I'm going to put how many members I have, and so that I can actually measure that. And I use the Oily Tools app, oilytools.com. I use their app to track very easily the number of members I have and how many % of them are on essential rewards. And it's a great tool for tracking your goals. So, and then I'm going to put some, I'm going to notice, okay, what stage of growth is becoming platinum in? Is that seeding, sprouting, blooming, or resting? Well, I would say it's sprouting. Obviously, it's not blooming because I haven't achieved it yet, but it's definitely sprouting because I have, 5 working legs, at least, in my group. So being intentional, what activities do you intend to schedule this month to achieve your goal? One of my things is to call everyone who is not on essential rewards in my first 2 levels and have a talk. Just find out what's going on in their life. Are they using their oils? Where do they need any support from me? And let them know about essential rewards. They may not know. They may be ordering and they're just not getting the point. So I'm going to call everybody that's not on rewards. And I'm going to send business builder gifts to people who are senior star. And as they achieve senior star, mail them a business builder gift of a book. So that's another thing that I'm doing. So another goal I have is to have paid health coaching clients with a revenue of $1,000 per month. That's measurable. One of my intentional activities is to create a group coaching program in my community and to promote that group coaching program to local businesses in person. So does that kind of give you an idea of how the goals and intentional activities work? These energy surges aren't anything out of the norm. I mean, if you read other material from other motivational speakers, it's out there. When Darren Hardy talked at convention, he echoed what we teach in Cheetah B. It's just that they don't all put it in a format that's so easy to use and understand and apply. And then with Cheetah B, we also have the group on Facebook that other people can participate in and have a conversation about them. So that's the great part. Okay, and another aspect of the attraction plan is the qualities of my perfect blank. This is probably one of the most powerful parts. Well, they're all powerful parts, but once you decide on a goal, you have to decide who it is that you need to attract into your life that will help you achieve that goal. So obviously, if we're in Young Living as a business, we need Young Living members, right? We need team members. So what are the qualities of my perfect Young Living team members? Well, find one that you love, or maybe if you don't have any team members, maybe your friend or your mentor has some that they love, and just ask them, what do you love about who's your best, who's your most favorite enrollee, or your most, the relationship with the team member that makes you the happiest, and tell me about that person. So qualities of my perfect Young Living members are that they are on a 200 PV or more essential reward order each month before the 10th of the month. They are joining Young Living with one of my team members and their sponsor and purchasing a premium starter kit. That should have been one of my team members as their sponsor, and purchasing a premium starter kit. They are enrolling one or more new members each week. So these are just some of the things on my list for my perfect Young Living distributors. They are creating momentum in their Young Living business. They have a passion for sharing Young Living and are unstoppable. They are defining what their leaders look like and are attracting them to our team using a strategic attraction plan. That's on my list. That is on my strategic attraction plan list. So those aren't the only people that I'm going to attract into my life to help me achieve my goals. Another one is that I'm going to have paid health coaching clients. Well, who am I going to attract for that? I'm going to have an attraction plan, a list of qualities of my perfect health coaching client. And I'm going to have a different page for each group of people that I'm attracting. And this is really powerful because, you know what? People don't show up in my world anymore and tell me that they can't afford a premium starter kit. They just don't. And if they do, it's a very quick turnaround to show them how they can. And I don't lose them with that. I used to, but I realized that I needed to ask God to bring me people that were perfect and would help me achieve my goal quicker. So they show up now. They show up, and I'll tell you, and sometimes they even act in ways that I add qualities to my list because they've distributed qualities that I love, and I didn't realize I needed that. But one important thing that one of my team members that's on my list is about their families are fully supporting them in their Young Living business. Now, how powerful is that? Because especially you get a lady that joins Young Living and her husband is not with her on it. That can be a real downer for her. And so on my list is that my Young Living team members, their husbands are fully supporting them. And now people show up and their families are behind them and their husbands. So that's great. And also, recently, what did she do? Oh, one of my newer people, she said, you know what, we need to have a topic when we have our get-togethers. And I said, okay, I thought so too. And she said, and I said, so are you willing to do that? And she said, yeah. She said, pick the topic. And I did, and she presented on it. And I learned some things I didn't know. So I added that to my list, that they are participating fully and presenting at Young Living events. So I thought that was very powerful. So that is it with the strategic attraction plan, and I hope you see how it can be of value to you. We do have a complete mastery program that you can take on its recordings, so you can get into this program where we dissect the attraction planning process, and you can become a master at that. So if you're interested in that, just send me an email and let me know, and I'll help you get connected with that. So basically, we've talked about all the energy surges and in detail about the strategic attraction plan, and we went over the values. Values are very important, and where you can learn more about finding values. And I wanted to let you know, too, that if you're doing the ULA stuff, with the ULA oils and the ULA gurus and seekers, then you can use that as a way to structure your goals. So they have the 7 F's, the fitness, finance, family, field, faith, friends, and fun. And so when I'm making my goals out for the month, I make sure that I'm addressing goals in each of these areas of my life as well. So fitness, I'm very active in the fitness part of my goals right now. And then the fun, my Fridays with Ellie, and that kind of goes family and fun. And so make sure that you're addressing all of the ULA categories as well into your goal setting for the month, and I think that you'll have a more harmonious life. And what I found is that when I'm doing things for fun and working on my faith and my fitness, that I'm still holding that be-all of being a Young Living Royal Crown Diamond with my intention. And so when I'm doing these fitness and family and fun things, people show up that match my attraction plan. and I'm still get to work. Only I'm still working on my fitness and my family and my fun. So it can be very powerful for you if you will use it, and it just helps you to stay focused and to kind of gives you a roadmap of where you're headed. And then also something else I do is, like, we're at the beginning of June. I'm going to go back from May, and I'm going to pull my numbers, and I track each person that's in my group, all the leaders, and I track their PB and in each leg. And I'm going to say, well, they did good here, and they did, they need some support here. And so we're tracking too. So I think this can really be a big thing for you if you'll use it. And if you need any more support, please be sure and let me know, and I'll be happy to help you out with that. And I'll just give it back to you, Jackie. I appreciate you letting me share about my Chi to B and the attraction planning process.
Great. Thank you, Dana. I've got up value cards and www.icarevalues.org. And Dana also mentioned John Maxwell. And now if you have questions that you want to ask Dana, I'm going to check and see if we've had any that have been submitted. And I don't see any. If you want to ask Dana a question, can you raise your hand real quick? Just raise your hand so I know that we've got somebody that we're going to be waiting for. Nobody's raising their hand? Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I guess, Dana, you did a fabulous job. I thought you did. I thought it was fantastic.
Nobody has any questions, so they're either thoroughly confused or I got my point across.
Oh, we've got a question. We've got a question that's going to come in. So I'm going to wait. We've got one person that says they're definitely going to submit a question.
Okay.
And, so we'll wait for that to get typed in and get sent to us. Let me see if maybe I can just unmute them. And if they've got a microphone, they can ask us. Christy, can you hear me? Christy, we can hear you if you want to just ask the question. Uh-oh. I think she just disconnected herself.
Stage fright.
Well, I think it may have been unintentional, but I don't know that for sure.
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm sure.
I just saw her disappear. I don't know whether she's going to get back on or not. So I tell you what, folks, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for now. If you have questions, Dana, you said they could send you an email, but could we have them contact you on Facebook? That might be easier for folks.
Sure. It's Dana Christisen at Facebook. I also have a group, Essential Oils A2Z, the number 2 and the letter Z, A2Z.
But
so
if you want to look up
to be a member, I'll add you in.
If you look up Dana Christisen, could you spell your name so they know exactly how to spell it?
Yeah, Dana, and it's Christisen, Christ like Christmas, Christisen.
Okay, great. All right. So, for those of you who are still with us, thank you so much. We're really glad you're here, and we appreciate you joining us today. Dana, very, very, very great training. I really appreciate you being here and appreciate your efforts to help folks. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's a great time, and it always helps me to be accountable to myself when I'm teaching. So.
Well, for those of you who are online, we have recorded this webinar, and it will be posted on our website, naturesmoldrx.com. That's naturesmoldrx.com, and that should be up by Monday, June the 8th, and it should be available there for at least the next month. Until next month, this is Jackie Close for myself and our very special guest speaker, Dana Christisen, sending you warm hugs across the miles. We hope and pray that your life will be blessed exceedingly, abundantly, above and beyond all you hope or dream, and ask that you be filled with faith, joy, gratitude, and vibrant health. Goodbye for now. God bless everybody. Thanks again, Dana. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.